students, I hope all of you are doing very great. So, from today I am going to take you in a journey of pharmaceutical biotechnology. I will highlighting specially the immune system and how you can save your body from various microbes. My name is Abhijit Devnath. I am from Innate Pharmacy Institute and I am going to cover the unit 3 of your pharmaceutical biotechnology. But before starting my lecture, I need to thank my previous professors, lecturers who have taken the unit 1 and unit 2 and who already have enlightened you a lot in particular that subject. So, I am going to cover these various topics, that is immunity, why our immune system is very complex, 3 levels of our immune defense, and what are the physical and physiological barriers, and the innate immunity. So, before starting the actual lecture, before going to in the deep topic, let me tell you that we are actually surrounding by the various microbes. You can see this is we, and here are all the microbes. Microbes are very small, you cannot see them. Okay, you need microscope. That's why the word actually microbes actually evolved. So, we are surrounded by all the microbes, and according to the New York Times, they are saying there are 1 trillion species of microbes around the earth, and 99.999% of them have yet to be discovered. It means there are a huge number of microbes, we have not discovered them, and we human are alive in this planet, and in future we have to face lots of challenges from these microbes. Because of COVID-19, that is SARS-CoV-2, we already are facing a lots of challenges, and how we will be able to save ourselves in future. So, that is why this understanding this topic is very much becoming important. So, have you ever wondered that how our immune system actually protecting us? I was telling you those microbes. So, our immune system is actually protecting us from those microbes. So, have you ever wondered that how our immune system is actually protecting us, and if our immune system is protecting, then how does the coronavirus is actually able to manage to evade our immune system? We are facing right now a big challenge because of the COVID-19. So, how the virus is actually able to cross our immune system? A lots of news, lots of studies are actually happening on antibody. So, how antibody is actually working? And if you are also thinking that vaccine, many of you have taken vaccine for COVID-19. So, how the vaccine is working, how COVID-19 vaccines like Covishield or Covaxin or other kind of vaccines, how they are actually able to stop the virus growth in your body. And yes, you as a student of pharmaceutical science, how you will be able to discover a drug for this COVID-19. So, if you are wondering on those things, if you have a curiosity, so these lectures and this upcoming 10 lecture I am going to take, this will be this will be help you a lot, and you will be feeling so happy, and you will be so much inspired. And I believe that in future you will be also able to solve these problems. For other diseases, at the beginning what I have told you that 99.99% of the viruses are yet to be discovered or microbes are yet to be discovered. For them you also able to discover new vaccines and also drugs. So, that is why with a small understanding, small introduction and background, let me tell you what is immunity. I already mentioned that because of the immunity, our body is actually able to resist against those microbes. What is immunity? So, it is the ability of human body to resist against all kinds of organisms and toxins that tends to damage the tissues and organs like fungi, protozoas, bacteria and viruses and all the potential pathogens. So, your body actually, it is the ability of your body, the way your body actually helping or to its to maintain its normal physiology and they actually resist. Okay. If I tell you more, immunity broadly involves in the resistance as shown and protection offered by the host organism against those infectious diseases, and the immune system consists of a complex network of cells. I will tell you more about why it is a complex and what is the networks of cells, okay, and molecules and their interaction. So, a complex network like eosinophil, basophil, neutrophil, lots of cells are actually that is attached together, and they are working there in such a manner so that the foreign entities like virus, bacteria, they do not able to enter in your body, or if they enter, they are able to catch it, destroy it and throw it out from your body. So, if I tell you more, it is specifically designed to eliminate infectious organism from your body. Designed, follow this word, designed. So, how it is possible to design? And we are human, we actually evolved from a simple bacteria, and almost 13.8 billion years ago, our entire this universe was actually created, and then near about 4 to 5 billion years ago, the solar system was created. So, here I am using the word designed. So, what I am trying to tell you? I am trying to tell you that we human, we are actually evolved. Okay, we are actually the product of the evolution. Okay, from single cell, from single bacteria, there was evolution of fish, reptile, then you have seen the birds and mammal and human, Homo sapiens. So, we actually evolved from a single cell. So, that is why it was designed, means nature actually designed. So, our immune system, it actually designed to eliminate the infectious organism from our body, and this is possible since the organism is capable to distinguish the self from the non-selves. See, our cells, bacteria, virus, everything is actually made by what? Made by various proteins. I can remember, I want to tell you a great scientist called Carl Sagan. He told that we are actually stardust. We are actually stardust, means the stars are actually made by what the elements, what are the elements by which the stars are actually made up of. We are also made of the same things. What are these things? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, other things. Okay. If you see the periodic table, the things by which the periodic table actually, the elements by which actually periodic table is made up of, similar things you will be getting entire the universe. So, that is why my dear students, you have to understand this thing very seriously, that we are actually evolving. Okay, 99.99% of these microbes are yet to discover. Okay, and our human civilization, it is not so much old, because if I tell you the written history of our human civilization, it is not more than 10,000 years. Okay. So, in future we will have a lots of challenges, and we also have to design our body in such a manner, so that we can fight against the new viruses. So, the vaccines, so the antibody therapy, whatever you are actually observing, we are actually designing those things. So, let me tell you more. So, I told you that a complex network, you remember at the first slide I have mentioned that complex network. So, here is the network. You might be wondering that, sir, it is very complex. Yes, you are absolutely correct, it is very complex. So, our understanding and my interest is to make this complex system very easy for you, and I believe after ending of my these 2 lectures, you will be so happy, and you will have a very clear understanding, and you will be feeling so proud to know how this complex system is very easy. So, let me tell you, macrophage, neutrophil, natural killer cell, complement cell, mast cell, monocytes, various kinds of T cells. These are all T cells. These are all T cells. Okay. Various kinds of T cells, then dendritic cells, again dendritic cells, it is also T cells, basophil, eosinophil, and various kinds of your B cells. Okay. They are actually working together. They have a complex network system, they are associated with each other, they are communicating each other, and because of their communication, our immune system is actually working. So, what is the very complex network you are observing? At the end of my 2 lectures, you will be finding that these things are very easy. Let me tell you how this is working. So, here you can see the pathogens. So, at the beginning of my lecture, I have mentioned that we are actually surrounded by microbes. So, if those pathogens or those microbes are actually enter in your body, so how your body will stop them to enter? So, for that you have 3 levels of immune defense, 3 levels. First is the physical and physiological barrier, then you have innate immunity, and you have adaptive immunity, 3 levels of defense. My dear students, I want to tell you a very interesting story. Few years back, I think the FBI director, he mentioned that the way our immune system is working, similar manner, that is they are also try to understand immune system in such a way, similar manner they can stop the terrorist or the foreign that is invader in such a manner, so that they can save their country. See, you have microbes, they are entering in your body, they are destroying your cells. Terrorist or the foreign powers or foreign invader or those antisocial animals, they are also invading one country. They are trying to penetrate the security system in a country, and they are trying to do some bomb blast and other kinds of stuffs. So, there is a big similarity and big that is a correlation, the way our human body's immune system is working and the way the law enforcement agencies like FBI, CIA, in our India, RAW, IB, police, they are working. So, when you will study this thing, this immune system, you should correlate both the things. And as I can understand, many of the youths are actually listening this lecture, and if you want to do something great for your country, you might be wishing to do or join IPS, IAS. So, you can correlate. Let me tell you one of my story also. When actually I am from Tripura, in our Tripura there is a huge problem of that is extremism. So, I have seen one of our Home Secretary, he also mentioned the same thing. He said that there are big similarity between the working of immune system and the working of the law and defense enforcement agencies. How? See, here you have microbes, the bacteria and viruses, they are entering in your body. First level defense, your physical and physiological barriers like skin, mucous membrane, cilia, body temperature and pH. Here I am writing T for terrorist. Terrorists are actually trying to invade your country. You have first level defense. What is this? Like BSF, border security force. At border you have security force, na? They are stopping. So, if microbes is able to cross the first level barrier, what will happen? It will be able to it will be countered by the second level defense. This is the innate immune system. Similarly, in our country, the law enforcement agencies, how they are working? If BSF or the organizations or the people, those are actually sitting at the border, if terrorists are able to cross the border, we have second line of defense, that is police. Police. Can you correlate how our immune system is actually highly correlated with the law enforcement agencies working? So, the second line of defense, police, it will try to identify, stop them to invade. And the third level, if the microbes is able to cross both the first level and second level defense, then we have third level immunity called adaptive immunity. So, it will come to the picture, it will work and it will stop its activity. Similarly, we have NSG in our country. If terrorist is actually coming trying to enter in your country, if BSF is not able to stop them and police is not able to stop them, at that time what do? We call the NSG. Do you remember 26/11? Let me write somewhere 26/11. Mumbai terrorist attack, when it was happened in 2008, we have seen that we have called the NSG. NSG went in the Taj that is a hotel, and within 12 hours they have neutralized all those terrorists. So, there is a big similarity between the working of our immune system and working of our law enforcement and defense organizations. So, if you are a student, if you are also try to do something great for your country, like to join IPS or defense organization, so you should not forget this lecture. I will tell you more how the various cells they are working. So, what next? If they are able to cross all these three kinds of barrier, what will happen? Destruction. I am writing as a D, destruction. SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus, it is able to cross all the first, second and third level defense. That is why we are observing this disease called corona. So, that is why we have to do something another mechanism, so that we can stop if they are able to cross in the all the various kinds of defense system. So, let me tell you more one by one. Let me tell you about the first level of defense, the physical and physiological barrier. So, first thing is our skin. Let me tell you something about the skin. So, skin is the largest organ in the human body, and it is constituting about the 15% of the adult human body weight. And if I tell you more, the skin provides mechanical barrier to prevent the entry of the microorganisms and the viruses, and the acidic like pH 3 to 5 environment in the skin. Various areas we have this kinds of pH 3 to 5 pH environment of the skin. Surface inhibit the growth of the certain microorganism. Okay, let me tell you more about the skins. So, the sweat contains enzyme like lysosome that can destroy the bacterial cell wall, And if I tell you more, any infectious agents attempting to gain entry to the body must first breach these surfaces that are largely impermeable to microorganism. That is why when cut and scrapes are happening in your body and you are getting some infection. So, you have to understand that skin, it is the first level of defense. If the microorganism able to cross this first level of defense, you will be getting these things, infections. Let me also highlight you another thing like mucous membrane and cilia. These are actually also working in certain places of our body, they are also stopping. And most importantly, I like to highlight the body temperature. Have you ever wondered that in the month of the June, July, you very usually you got by fever and other kinds of diseases, for or some kinds of viral infection you are getting. So, when you are getting some viral infection, what is actually happening? Your body temperature is actually increasing, so your body temperature is actually increasing. This is the way actually your body is increasing its temperature, so that the microorganism not able to sustain in high temperature. That is why your body temperature is actually increasing. So, fever, it is a sign, it is not a disease. Okay, it is a sign or a symptom by which you will understand. Yes, pH, all of you are aware that at the acidic pH, viruses will be not able to survive, virus or bacteria. So, that is why it is important, and this is the first level of our defense. Okay. I hope you are very much clear after listening 16 minutes of my lecture, and you have a very clear understanding of the first level of defense. Now, let me start with the second level of defense, the innate immune system. Neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, macrophage, mast cell, dendritic cell, natural killer cell. There are new names, many of you might be thinking, sir, lots of new names we are actually listening. Do not worry, I will make it very easy for you. So, let me start. Let me start with the second level of defense. So, in this second level of defense, let me first tell you some features. So, it is actually called innate immunity. Why? It is also called as the natural or native immunity. Natural and native, you have to understand, natural and native. It means if a baby got birth on today, it will having some set of the innate immunity, and it is consist of the some set of cellular and biochemical defense mechanism that are in place even before the infections are poised to respond rapidly to the infections. Let me also tell you about this second level of defense. So, these mechanisms react to product of microbes and injured cells, and they respond essentially in the same way to repeated exposures. So, repeated exposures, one microbes, at the beginning I have told you we are surrounded by microbes, one microbes is actually entering in your body. So, what will happen? Your first innate immune system will be come to the picture, it will start working. That is why I have mentioned repeated exposures. So, again and again if one microbe is actually entering in your body, so repeatedly in the same manner this immune system will come to the picture and it will attack and it will destroy the microorganism. It might be virus, bacteria or anything. Let me also tell something, the mechanisms of innate immunity are specific for structure that are common to groups related to the microbes and may not distinguish between the differences between microbes. And if I tell you more, it is highly effective defense layer, that is largely preoccupied with trying to kill infectious agents from the moment they actually enter into the body. So, you might have seen that some kinds of bacteria, they do not able to infect your body. Why? Because repeated exposure, again and again you got exposed by the same bacteria with your body, and your body learned in such a manner so that it can destroy. That is why I have mentioned at the beginning of my lecture that design and evolved. Okay. So, let me also tell you more. So, recruiting immune cells to the site of infections through the production of the chemical factor, including the specialized chemical mediators and cytokines, very important cytokines. I will take a detailed lecture on cytokine. I think in the 21st or 26th lecture, I will tell detail about the cytokine, because of the cytokine storm, it was in news in recent time after COVID-19. So, one of the work of this innate immune system is that it will also recruit it will also recruit immune cells to the site of action, where one bacteria, for example, this is my hand, one bacteria is actually attaching here in my hand. So, the work of immune system is that to recruit the immune cells to in this place. And activation of the complement cascade to identify bacteria, activate cells and promote clearance of antibody complexes or dead cells. This is also the work. And identification and removal of the foreign substances. I will tell you more how they identify. These are the cells, na? These cells, how they identify, how they kill and how they destroy. How they kill, how they identify, how they kill and how they can remove those foreign substances from the body. Okay. So, specialized white blood cell I have mentioned. So, the actions of these immune systems are also responsible for alerting the cells that operate third level of defense. I have told you that if police is not able to stop the destructive activity of terrorist, then we call NSG. Similarly, in our immune system, if first level of defense, that is skin and physiological barriers, if they are not able to stop the activity of the virus bacteria, at that time we are actually calling the second level of defense. If the second level of defense, this system, it is again get not able to stop, then we call the third level defense, that is adaptive. If they are not able to stop, they will be able to call the third level of defense, that is adaptive immune system. So, these are the some features, these are the whatever I have mentioned you as of now, these are the some features or this the way how our innate system is working. Now, I have told you that these are the cells which are responsible for the work. What are the cells? Neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, macrophage, then your mast cell, dendritic cell, natural killer cell. Okay. So, how these cells are working and how from where they are actually getting originated, that is the big question. So, to tell you more about them, you have to understand they work in a three way. They are all the cells they are working. If I categorize their work, I can tell they can work in a three broad way. First way, to identify the bacteria, virus or microbes. Second work, to kill that microbe. Third work, to remove that microbe from the body. Okay. So, let me tell you one by one. So, neutrophil, very important cell. This is the first responder at the site of infection or trauma. The abundant phagocytic cell, 50 to 60% of the leukocytes release the toxins also and kill or inhibit the fungi and other kinds of microorganisms at the site of infection. From where they are originated? They migrate from the blood vessels from tissues. Here is a picture. Here is a picture of a simple diagram of the neutrophil. Second one is macrophage. I think since your childhood you are aware about these cells, macrophage. So, what is their work? Their work is the phagocytosis. They will engulf. You can see it is actually engulfing. Their work is they are actually originated from the migrates from the blood vessels. Dendritic cell, another kind of cell, they actually presents antigens on the surface and triggering the adaptive immunity. I will tell you how they. This is called MHC. This is called MHC, antigen presenting cell, we are also calling this. And another thing is called natural killer cell. They actually kill, they will destroy completely. Okay. And they circulates the blood in the blood and migrate in the tissue. So, here is the picture, here is the picture how they are actually look like. And if I tell you more, the monocytes, mast cell, basophil and eosinophil. So, monocytes, they differentiate into macrophages and dendritic cells. See, macrophage and dendritic cells both are different and they are responsible to the inflammation. You might have seen that sometimes there is some inflammation is happening in your body. Why? The answer is these things. Okay. And they are stored into the spleen and moves throughout the blood vessels and infect the viruses. Here is the picture of the monocytes. Mast cell, it is another very important cell. So, they dilates blood vessels and induces inflammation through releases of histamine and heparin and recruits the macrophages and neutrophils. You remember I told one of the work is the recruitment, So, they recruit those things. Basophil, this is responsible for defense against the parasites and releases the histamine, means communication. Yeah, histamine means communication. And eosinophil, they release the toxin, that kills bacteria and parasites, but also causes the tissue damage. Here I have given you the picture, you can see how they are working, and I have also mentioned from where they are actually originating. I think you are very much clear that what are the various types of cells, what they are working. For example, this like histamine, yeah, basophil, their working is the informing to the to release the histamine and informing to the other cells. So, this is how our entire that is innate immunity system is actually working. For example, if one bacteria is actually entered in your body, what will happen? If one bacteria will enter in your body, neutrophil cells, mast cells, natural killer cell, eosinophil cells, all the things will become active. So, dendritic cells, they are called as the antigen presenting cell, they will present the cell, okay, they will present this bacteria to those cells which will kill. Who will kill? Like neutrophil, deregulation in killing. You can see the NK cell destroying missing self cell, and also eosinophil, okay, they are working also similar with the this thing neutrophil. And mast cell, they will clear, okay, यहाँ पे जो खून खराबा हुआ है उसका काम है उसको clear कर देना. Basically, your this thing eosinophil cells and natural killer cell neutrophil, they are the like in our police we call them STF, special task force. Their work is to the go and do some operation, some killing. Okay, if any encounter may happen, our those police task force will come to the picture. So, they are very dangerous for microbes, but they are very good for our health, and we are thankful to them. So, this is how if any bacteria may enter in your body, and your body will respond. So, I hope you are very much happy after spending 26 minutes with me. So, today what are the things you have learned? Today you have learned about the immunity, you have understood the basics, that how our immune system is actually working. Then you have learned that it is very complex, I told you the complex immune system, and you also have seen that 3 levels of defense system, and you also have seen the physical and physiological barrier. Then you have seen the innate immunity, and this part I will tell in my next lecture. This part I will tell in the next lecture. So, thank you for being with me in this lecture. I wish you will able to do something great in particular this field, because lots of researches are happening right now in this immune system. So, thank you all of you. Thank you for joining with me. God bless to all of you.